day, and welcome to the Boomba on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Shola Rogers.
My name is Ola Dolukwa.
And my name Tokumbo Ojekule.
You know.
That's not my sign off.
You know,
it doesn't belong to
the
me.
talk style.
No, the you know
Or
doesn't
talky
belong to
or
me.
something. I mean, you know.
No, not talk, not the talk thing.
No, talk.
Important people answer that name. For Abeg, please, let's
Talks the talker.
stop this thing. Important people, Dolokbo, answer
Sir,
Tokumbo.
sir.
Yes or no?
Yeah. Important people
Yeah.
and also fairly used goods. They all answer Tokumbo.
Because the owners are generous.
Yeah, and they're
I don't
fairly
know what
used.
she's talking about. I don't know what she's
And
talking
they're
about.
fairly used.
Now you don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know.
Okay.
And
Don't
they're
research.
fairly and they're fairly
And
used.
they're fairly used materials.
Like
Whoever came up with the name of Tokumbo as fairly used materials?
stuff that came
You want
from
to go
abroad.
back to the 18th century? Excuse me. You want to go back
Stuff
to the
that came.
18th
Oh,
century?
T. Okumbo.
well, wait. That
No, Dolopo, tell me you're not serious.
I'm not. I'm actually not joking. But my question is it everything that comes from abroad that is
Fairly used.
fairly used? That's a very wrong
They changed the
perception.
No, it was a bad. Yeah, you're right.
It has acquired that definition. It's the way that they used to tell you that this one na Japan. When you're going to buy spare parts, they say this one na Japan, this one na China.
But that came
When
later.
they mention those two countries, what they're trying to tell you is that this one is original, this one is fake.
Agree.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that everything that comes from China is fake,
No.
but that is what it became in Nigeria.
No, let
And
me
it only
explain.
takes one person.
No, let me explain. People who traveled then, talking about the 40s and 30s, whenever they came back, they returned to Nigeria, right? The nickname given to them is, Tokumbo from
yeah.
abroad,
Yeah.
overseas. And it became a vogue, and people started naming their children Tokumbo. Now, let me explain that. Now, those who are owners of the name, truly named by Tokumbo, called Tokumbo, they came from the family where the father traveled before the mom conceived.
Okay.
And so by the time the father came back, Tokumbo had arrived.
Okay.
Tokumbo was had been born by then.
But the child
So,
did not told
they-
T. Okumbo now. It's
No,
the father that's T. Okumbo.
No, they have to. Some you bring the
Some
children,
are actually from abroad.
they bring them along, and some, in my case, it was just a trip across Ghana or something.
Okuno is
So,
There's
you
Okun
understand?
involved.
So I'm proud to own it. You get it. And then Shona brought it back into.
Okay,
when they
so
go
we
to
have a
comment.
comment. Okay.
Oh, really?
It popped up now. Sorry
Yes.
for the Pastor Eliashi May James. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
He
Pastor.
said that invention began in the early 70s.
Yeah. That's
Which
the
invention?
concept of
Of
Tokumbo.
Okumbo.
No, Pastor. No.
Okay.
He's referring to when Shola explained that you go to the market to buy spare parts.
Okay.
That explanation was the 70s. But the fact that people were being born there and brought in.
Okay, so he says that,
Uh-huh.
as TK said, it's used to be applied. It used to apply to
He's
children.
agreeing with you.
So
Is
he's
that
agreeing
right?
with you.
No,
Yeah.
you stopped halfway.
No, he just sent another
Oh.
He
comment.
sent another
Thank you,
comment.
Pastor.
He sent another comment.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
But on a real, there's a way things take on a certain meaning or a certain
And
understanding.
then everybody just goes
And
with
people
it.
just
But
key
of
into
course,
it.
Yes, but
you
of
know?
course.
And at some point, some of the Tokumbo markets
Yeah.
started selling brand new stuff.
So that's
But people will still say it's
But the perception was still
yeah, it was the perception. That's the
old,
word.
Old used vehicles.
Tokumbo. Like you now, fairly used.
No, don't get personal, Shana. because you don't answer that name doesn't mean that. Please don't get personal.
Okuti, what's in a name? I can adopt the name
Remember-
anytime.
Is it
What happened to your what's it called? Your ringtone one time like that.
Which ringtone?
Orí ẹ mama jẹ́ kó fọ́kàn Tokumbo.
Why did you sing it?
Àlòkù
yourself?
ọkùnrin.
Why did you sing?
Like it just clicked down.
Even Lagbaja referred to you as Àlòkù ọkùnrin.
No, I've explained something to you. Even one of his shows, there was a time he you know, he had practiced that song, rehearsed the song. So we entered.
And you were in the front.
With Pakunde, his wife, my wife, we all entered while at the front. And then all of a sudden he looked at me and he was going to change. And he changed the song. I know, and everybody started looking around for anybody bearing the name. Of course, I didn't stand up. I mean, come on.
Like, no.
So Pastor Emergence, leadership Emergence says, but in the days of firewall, every item brought from abroad were called tokumbo. Now, we are constrained to explain
firewall.
Yes.
Explain firewall.
To explain to our non-Yoruba speaking
let's start from
viewers
here.
and
The
listeners.
thing is, I know what firewall
You
is,
should know.
So explain it.
but
You should know.
I don't know the literal meaning. I know that firewall are smugglers.
Yeah, so that's it.
But I'm always wondering, how did you get those kind of names? Like you said now, Tokumbo is.
So look at the literal meaning again. Firewall. Fiayawo.
They were in the jungle, in the bush.
trenches.
Oh, in the trenches.
Trying
To be
escape
honest, I know what
the
firewall
officers.
is, but
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way. Oh wow! Oh wow!
You know, African languages are so beautiful.
Very expressive, like
Very expressive. Very expressive and all of that.
very
You know,
interesting.
and since we're
Do you
talking,
know, a friend of mine till today still answers Bomboy.
What?
yes, to give back to a
The
boy.
guy's name is Uche.
Born boy.
So would you not say Bongel? Is there Bongel?
no, there were born boys.
Yeah, apart from
So
that, you know what happened? That part of the country,
Yeah, he says firewall
Children-
means
smuggling.
smuggling.
Yeah, that part of the country that they answer Bomboy. After giving birth, it takes them a while before they they give a name to the child.
Okay,
So
so
during
the
that-
child,
yeah,
they just keep calling the child Bomboy.
Yeah, they will hold on to it
Yeah,
passionately.
I think it takes about 3
And
months or so
I don't know how the boy
before you name a
Yeah.
child in some
And-
parts of Nigeria.
Bomboy had gotten to first form in secondary school before he fought one day and said his name was Uche. And everybody, it was very funny. Really
Can
funny.
you imagine?
Yeah. And the very mischievous ladies and girls amongst us will now say, Bomboy Uche, you know.
You know?
It's very interesting times. Very interesting times. Yeah. For people joining us, just wondering, it's the bar. So the conversation goes. We go where the conversation goes. Let me just put it like that. So today we're going to talk about a few things. Yeah. One of the things I think that we should really deal about is clout chasing. It's a major issue that we have right now. There are a bit more updates on the late gospel singer Osinachi Example that died. There is also something that went, I don't know if I'll call it viral, but there was something that was sent to me yesterday about people in a closed group. In fact, 2 separate people sent it to me yesterday and then it's sad because when you read those things, you understand people's mentality, why some things are the way they are now, and also why some things don't seem to leave our society as a whole. Domestic violence is one. And so there's a bit of other things. But before we get to that, before we get to all those things, there's some things that I saw down. So first things first, the National Assembly, there was news a few days ago that President Buhari had written to the National Assembly to increase the budget for fuel subsidy. So it has officially been approved. Mm-hmm. The president's request have been approved for 4 trillion naira. That's one. 2, the one that even took me by surprise, or I won't say very interesting, because it looks like this NIN thing is getting really serious. Now, according to the Nigeria Railway Corporation, they're saying that from month of May, you will need your NIN to board trains in Nigeria.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's
Yeah, it's understood, but did they explain reasons why? You know, their reasons could be funny sometimes.
I don't know.
No reasons, no explanation for that.
Do they need explanations for those kind of things?
No, I said it's understood. I understand, but sometimes we need to ask them. Yeah, we need to ask them. I mean, look, Mister, we understand, but NIN, we didn't know.
So,
it was
non-Nigerians bought those trains.
I know that non-Nigerians in Nigeria
Yeah.
and with valid
Visas
visa
or
and all.
what?
Yes, I think you can actually be assigned an NIN.
Okay.
Yes, so
So,
Really?
yes, I know I read those things that
I
with
know
your visa and all that, so you can actually be assigned one.
in most
But it doesn't make you a Nigerian.
No. But at least it would make you.
Sorry, Sharon.
yeah, it's fine. Good questions. actually.
I think at least it will make you do a few things. At least at this point now, if you're not careful, you probably will not be able to buy anything without NIN anymore, or even breathe without NIN. So, NIN is our lifeline.
Let's go ahead.
And at least, for
I'm
example,
worried that-
one major thing that everybody we know that is needed for now is a SIM card in Nigeria. You need an NIN to get a SIM card in Nigeria. So yes, so I think that for you to, if you have a valid visa without being a Nigerian, you will be assigned one.
I like the idea of trying to keep abreast with global standards in everything we do, and it has to cut across. So the NIN is something that many of these countries that we always compare ourselves to have been doing for so many years, and they've not had the kind of resistance or slow approach like we've had in Nigeria. One, on the part of government that brought it, they are not as organized as they should be. They did not start out making it look like they could handle the rollout of the NIN. So there were hiccups, which should never have happened. On the flip side, a lot of our brothers and sisters in Nigeria tend to be last minute people. They like to take things and do them slowly. And that always brings a kind of a bottleneck and a kind of problem when there's a deadline. You know, it's a standard Nigerian thing, but we have to change that orientation. I repeat, there's nothing wrong with getting an NIN number, because at the end of the day, the advantages are more than the disadvantages, and it's a global practice. It's a global practice.
Yeah, I believe so, but the procedure is what I query sometimes.
Okay.
I do query sometimes. I remember when the rush was started for the NIN things, we had conflicting reports about where to go and how to do it. You know, it was rather confusing. Some people even saw that it was
the rollout process was not good.
It was
slacky.
poor. I agree.
Yeah. So I know that somehow along the line, many people lost interest in doing it. However, once there is a law, once a law has been promulgated, who exactly are we to now say I won't be part of it? You'll get it. And to give it to government, they started this idea of, we'll give you a deadline, we push it again. They gave a deadline, they pushed it again. I don't know how many times
They did like forever.
And they kept on doing it.
It looked like it wasn't going to end.
Yeah, and for every time they pushed it, people would protest the fact that they needed to push it further.
Yeah.
I remember. We are not ready. And people asking questions. This thing isn't really big. It's not difficult for you to align.
It really did. I think that people took it for granted, because the fact that they kept on pushing it looked like the deadlines were never going to be enforced or anything. So I think people, like as I said, it's our way of just doing things. Pastor Imogen says that, what does that even mean? Sorry for the. I was asked to tender a valid ID card or driver's license. They should tell the truth. So I think he's against the idea of the NIN with.
Probably when he traveled, right?
Yeah, because I know that you need a valid ID card to board the train.
Okay, to board the train.
Yes, you need a valid ID card to board the train.
Okay, I am not sure that it is right for them to disregard any ID card issued by the federal government. You know, not everybody has everything. Like, there are some people who have never had a Nigerian passport.
Yeah.
Some people have the driver's license that they've never voted before.
Some don't have IDs.
Some don't even have IDs.
But you know the weird part with all these things is that all these IDs we're talking about now, you can't get any of those, at least for now.
Going forward.
Going forward without an NIN. Your driver's license, your PVC, your passport,
everything.
It's been sunk into the
You
NIN.
actually can't get any of those without an NIN.
So asking him not to, trying to bar him from.
Even after he's brought his
I think it's wrong.
It's wrong.
You shouldn't
So
keep anybody up.
he's saying that the reason those terrorists were able to access the train, but the staff buy off the tickets and sell at black market
They
rates.
do.
Without any form of identification.
Identification.
And that is the problem.
So, I thought there was a time that they said that they were going to make the ticketing electronic.
Well, that's what they said. You see,
So-
it's about what you say one thing, then you do another thing. We need to hold government accountable. Talking about things that government says all the time. At times, it's not as if those ideas are bad, but people are tired of.
Put a bit of action to it.
Yeah, okay. Do you remember when a Nigerian phone was unveiled by the Minister of Technology or whatever?
Yeah, that was a few months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so where is the phone now? People are asking, where's the phone? Where's the status of the phone? Do you get what I'm saying? And this is one thing that we need to be serious about.
I love
If
the
indeed-
word serious.
Yes, if indeed we are creating that kind of commerce, it means more jobs for Nigerian youth and even the grown-ups.
Absolutely.
It means lesser capital flight, because if I can get an Android or iOS or whatever phone that
It's Nigerian.
is Nigerian made and it's good enough,
Yeah.
that money stays here.
Yeah.
Then it means forex
It's
for
cheaper.
Nigeria, because
It's
you
even
can also
cheaper.
export. Okay, so you come up with an idea of a Nigerian phone. Where is it? Where is the phone? And these are the things. So you can link that to how they told us that they're going to start electronic ticketing, and they've not done it.
And my problem is that why is it so difficult?
The
We
same-
buy tickets for planes online,
No,
yeah.
but remember the
So I'm
video we
like,
saw.
why is it so difficult?
I don't know if Tokumbo saw this video,
yeah.
but December we saw the video of this same train from Warri Itakpe that stopped in the middle of nowhere
I saw
Yeah.
to
that.
pick passengers.
Pick
I saw
passengers.
that. I saw that.
What has happened?
Dragging like
What
a
has
mole,
happened?
like a mole in the city.
What has happened to
Exactly.
those
Yes,
people?
I
That's
remember.
what reminds you of.
There's something I feel about government. Government people should listen. When I use the word government people who work within the government fold, okay, there's the will to do something.
Yeah.
There's a political will to do something. It's at your beck and call. As a matter of fact, it is a privilege for you to be in charge of the will to do things. You have the power. But sincerity of purpose matters a lot. Anytime we get to this point, Shona, we have to continue to beg people to be sincere about how to execute issues. Those who thought of the train procedure probably did not remember that they were not going to do the e-system alone, but they were going to be using people. People, character, attitudes also matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are horrible. Let's be
We want to
honest with
sleep. We
ourselves.
want to sleep about
Like,
people we employ.
how do you stop a train? Only in Nigeria.
In
How
the middle
in
of
the
nowhere.
middle of nowhere? Like,
And
you
I
would
can tell
never
you-
have thought.
And I can tell you what happened. They took off from Lagos, and probably his boss got a call somewhere along the line for a relative who needed to join that train.
Oh no, it's
No.
a thing. It's a worry Takpe line.
You see,
Straight up.
But it was their way. It was not a one-off.
the only
It
reason
was
why
the same way, but not.
Worry
they,
Itakpe,
they,
eh?
they didn't have to stop where they
no,
stopped.
this is what actually happened. The video was made by someone who lives in that village, and in the video you can hear him proudly saying that is something train station, that they have created their own train station, and they are happy that the train can stop there to pick and drop passengers illegally.
So it was a bus stop for them.
Yes,
a
they-
train stop.
train stop.
It was a train. It was
And
a
it was
normal
actually
thing.
a normal
for them.
thing. They've been doing it
Yeah, been
a
doing it.
lot.
Okay.
And you know, and this is a very interesting part for me is that you hear a lot of politicians. I've heard a few politicians that say that like you said, there's a will to do a train. Somebody decided this thing had to be done, and it was done. But also, you seem to forget, which I hear a lot, that the people that work in the system, we all say that Nigerians are the problem in Nigeria. It is of course, we know that it's the people that are employed on those trains that are doing those things, not the government. But my issue is that you, as the government, you know that Nigerians are not forward-thinking people. You know there is a large chunk of Nigerians that are fraudulent. So why not put checks and balances in place from the get to stop these people?
We think too wildly in terms of putting structures in place. I must confess, we try as much as possible to believe that we're in charge. But you rightly say something now. People, sorry, but I don't know where this is coming from. People who are expected to monitor and ensure that things are rightly done also slip off along the line.
Yeah, because
they slip.
They do. I agree.
And when they slip, it's worse because some things are, look, that trade thing shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Two things we lost out: surveillance materials we do not have. It came out. We don't have.
Oh yeah, because for example, like you were going to say, like this issue of the Warri Itakwe thing that we saw a video of, if those trains are properly checked from the control room, you will know that this train stopped at so place. Why did it stop here? In this few minutes, what was wrong? Then you know there's a problem somewhere. So it's not just even about security, it's also a lot about how these things are done properly. Are you sure these things are not being used to carry illegal materials? Are you sure? Do you understand that? So it's a whole lot of things. But before we go on, we have a few comments from Pastor. He said that we said TK, they should stop giving deadline to registration. Yes, I am against it. National registration is an ongoing operation. It should not have a timeline. People are born every day and people grow from 17 to 18 every day. Okay. That I agree with. Yes, it still does not have a deadline. You can actually still go and register. Yes. There's no deadline for it. The deadline was for the SIM NIN linkage.
The linkage.
It was the linkage. That has a deadline.
Yes, it was a linkage.
So, but the issue, so allow continuous registration exercise. Oh yes, it is actually continuous. It's a continuous thing. My own issue with the continuous issue is, number one, for this SIM linkage, we know that Nigerians are just don't want to. So a lot of people did not do it as at when due. Yeah. For me, why I have a problem with the NIN is also the issue of you have to be 18 or something to get an NIN. I think you have to be 15 or 16 or something to get an NIN. I would say for proper registration, as a child is born, as you are given, there is a government birth certificate that is given. I feel that an NIN should be given. And then maybe when the child is... Yes. And when the child is 18, there is a level of updating that is done when you're 18, 15 or 16 or 18, whatever time. But so as to get proper registration or to be inclusive, I feel that at birth, it should start from at birth. As they're giving people birth certificates, NINs should be issued to each child.
I think, yeah, I agree with you. In fact, it brings something to my mind now. I'm sorry, it's still part of it, but I digress a little bit. We are fond of making laws. I said this earlier, and I'm sure you also buttressed it. And when we need to think through the process. One example is Nigerians abroad whose passport had expired, and immigration tells them, of course, you can't go anywhere with an expired passport.
Oh, yeah.
And where do you think you should go? You should go to the High Commission, the country where you reside. Okay? Yep. And then they get there, and lo and behold, they are as confused as those back home. And they are telling them, no, it's not going to be in this center. why don't you go to Atlanta?
And I'm like,
or
I shouldn't even
Kansas,
be going
you
this
know?
far with it.
And they mention Atlanta as if you are going
You're
to
down the
Boston.
road.
Yeah. You have to go by air. You
Yeah.
have to buy your ticket. You have to always vote about a week or two for that,
Yeah.
because you may not get it that same day.
Exactly.
Now, I still say, why do we do this all the time? Why do we do this all the time? Even back home, to even get your passport, right, updated in this, you have to sweat it out.
Yeah.
Some people tell me now they have to go to Shagamu from Lagos to go and get, because they say the crowd in Lagos is too heavy. Yeah. Some people go to the obscure places to go and get passports done.
So I experienced this firsthand.
Yeah.
A few years ago with my daughter.
Yeah.
And at some point we had to abandon the whole idea of getting a Nigerian passport in America, then put it aside. Then you now get an American passport, then you need to get a visa.
Yeah.
Then you will now go through hell to get a Nigerian visa
On the American passport.
This is something that happened many years ago. Maybe it has changed now, I don't know. In fact, precisely 7 years ago. Hey, shout out, happy birthday, 7 years ago. Today is our birthday.
Oh, really?
You know?
Happy birthday. Wow, okay.
So,
wow.
So, but my own conclusion
Yeah.
is that people create confusion so that they can thrive.
Yes, I agree.
Some people create confusion in the system so that they can thrive. Now
break down the thrive.
yeah,
Oh, they can make money.
they make money from it.
I
Okay,
wanted-
so
yeah.
I wanted
so-
us to be.
so look at it this way. I wanted to say something about broadcasting, but I am not bold enough to say it, so I will leave that. You talked about the passports. It is rare for you to find. Go and check out businesses like clearing and forwarding. You want to clear a vehicle. If you send a vehicle, even if you bought the vehicle yourself from America, you cannot come to Nigeria and clear it by yourself.
No.
No.
The process is so cumbersome that you cannot clear your car. You need to get a what? A clearing agent. Meanwhile, in other parts of the world, you can decide to use an agent or clear your vehicle by yourself.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the passport, Tokumbo. You go to the passport office, and all of us, how many of us can actually say we filled the form by ourselves? You got all the forms. It's the truth. There's so many things around it that you need help. You need help.
They made a whole system. Okay, Pastor.
And the help is not free.
Okay, Pastor Imagen
You pay for
says
the
that,
help.
Dolly baby, you're talking like a Tokumbo. I don't know.
No. You have to be explicit.
I don't know. That's why I said I don't know.
That's someone from abroad
It's the
now.
product. Yeah, it's talking about the product.
So he also said they will never do it that way because some people will not get kickback from our confusion.
That's it.
Our confusion, I agree.
That's it.
They literally make it so that you're confused.
Yeah,
I saw one day people crossing the expressway. I condemn it. I condemn crossing the expressway on Ikorodu Road. It was exactly at Anthony bus stop. And I saw people crossing the expressway. There was a bus parked at the junction by one company that sells hardware, electrical hardware and construction hardware. There's a bus parked there. And there are people just standing around the bus. They're not looking at anybody. So as soon as you cross from the Ilupeju side,
just get into the bus.
and you just cross to the median, cross to the second median,
God.
go across the service
Just-
station.
it
As
would
long as you
usher
just get
you.
on the side, they just and they put you in the bus.
That is fantastic. But wait for this, right?
So,
you
okay.
drive in Lagos, you drive everywhere.
Yeah.
You get to some areas, it's a one-way drive. Okay? They have actually put a sign there that it's a one-way.
After.
And I tell you, some roads are newly christened one-way.
Yes.
Shout out to
you do
Yaba
not-
people.
So you do not know.
Yaba and Shomolu.
So Shomolu, you do not know.
And
at
via
the tail end of it, the guy who's going to hold you, right? One is at the end of it, one is by the entrance, and the one
I
at
has
the
waited
entrance
for you to
will
enter.
actually direct you to go down. As you drive into it, the other one is hanging. Okay, that's a one-way drive. I said, I wasn't told. This guy passed me. Okay, look at him. Okay? Something's going to happen.
So
We are deliberately.
I I agree
So difficult.
110% with what you guys have
So
said.
difficult.
So my own thinking was the day I saw that thing happen, I'm like, okay, you have employed these people to arrest people who cross the freeway.
Yes.
Yes, they shouldn't have crossed the freeway. But can't the same people
Be on the other
be-
side and
they
enforce
say,
people
do
to
not
climb.
cross
Yeah.
that's the bridge.
Prevent
Use the
people,
bridge.
yeah.
Do you
Prevent
get-
it,
Why don't you
prevent it.
prevent it?
Yeah.
So you're waiting for them to risk their lives, see if they're gonna get hit or get struck by a moving vehicle, and when they survive that, they cannot survive your men.
Well, let me explain it.
Do you understand?
Must we go to school to be taught how to use the pedestrian road?
No,
Oh,
but I'm-
Nigerians are also
No.
Oh no, we are
extremely
deviants.
diff-
Oh, we are
very
very
deviant,
difficult,
absolutely.
difficult people. Oh no,
so I'm not saying
don't
I'm
get
not
it
saying
twisted.
crossing
Don't get
the
it
freeway
twisted.
is correct.
No, I'm not saying you're saying like school.
I'm
No,
saying
what
that,
he's saying is
isn't
that
it better
do they have
that
to
you
be
even,
taught?
oh, yes, why not teach them? Why not say go back, do not cross the freeway? Then if the guy now insists on crossing the,
There
then you can arrest him.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I
you're
agree.
there, you're hiding. Look, you know the funny thing, the way they act there, the bus is parked there, they act like they don't even know each other. As soon as you cross like this, once you just hit
You-
that sidewalk,
Just-
That
okay,
is how to thrive, Shola. You use the word thrive. That's how to thrive.
in the
Yeah.
confusion and
You're
commotion.
commission and commission.
Oh my God.
You must strive. You must
It's
strive.
very, very interesting.
So
Well,
that's IGR.
yeah.
That's
We're
IGR.
going into someone's
We're going
pockets.
some. Please, we're moving on from. Well, this was just supposed to be like a
It is
passing
a-
through
it
kind
is
of
a-
thing.
eh?
But anyway, it's fine. It's so NRC I shall told you people that don't have NIN, yo, if you want to enter the trade, me and Coco not enter this trade before, sha. So I don't know, but and I have NIN anyway.
I think we should take a ride one day.
Yeah, we should
The whole
actually.
boom bar.
Yeah, we
take
should
a
have
ride.
like
We should.
Bomba the train edition. Yeah,
I'm game.
yeah.
I think we should. Let's think about it.
Next month.
After Easter. Yeah.
Next month.
Good.
So now, moving on from that, and one thing that is still on everybody's minds and is still very sore on everybody's minds is the issue of the Osinachi Example lady. Yeah, and I saw something yesterday and it hit me. And this, remember that the song that really made her very popular, the Ekweme song, and I saw someone tweet that he tried to listen to that song again
Okay.
yesterday, and his song sounds different. That everybody likes the song as a worship song. That to him, it almost sounds like the song now sounds like she was crying out for help.
A cry for help. Someone said that to you, or you?
No,
read
I saw it.
somewhere?
I read it on Twitter. That's like it almost sounds like it was a cry for help. And I'm like, okay. I honestly did try listening to that song, and it really does sound different. Like okay, it was almost like the tone of the song. You understand? And it's really sad. When you hear this kind of things again, it's almost like it opens up a whole new talk about this whole thing. And there's a bit of people that have come out. Her Pastor Paul Eneche had come out.
That's
He had the Dunamis pastor. He had come out to talk about what happened to her before that.
Before the
There was also, I have not read it, but there was a statement from the Minister of Women Affairs about how she had a conversation. I know you had read it about how she had a conversation with the children. There is updates from her sister, her twin sister. There is updates from her mom. How she wasn't allowed to see her grandchildren for years because of this person. How, according to parts of Pastor Paul Eneche's, how the choir director or something, member of the choir, one of them was like that. He was in a studio when they were
No,
in.
that's the producer again.
The producer
the
was
choir spoke. The producer spoke.
that she and her husband were in his studio when he hit her.
Yeah, he slapped her.
He slapped her and she begged him not to say anything. And the pastor was like that, okay, how come everybody knows all these things?
And we don't know.
And nobody ever said anything. And what everybody kept on saying was that she always said that they shouldn't
Let the pastor
know about it.
I mean, I don't understand that kind of love, eh? Yeah, it's borderline. I don't know. They say they speak evil of the dead, so, but I think it's a dangerous way for you to live.
It really sounds a
That
lot like
you're-
Stockholm
you're-
syndrome.
You're protecting, you're protecting the abuser. You're protecting the person that are more or less eventually taking your life. Now, the Pastor Paul Enenche speaking out shed all the lights that we need to have. One, yes, indeed, there was abuse. Because it's confirmed from a lot of people. There are several witnesses. So if there's a court case, these are the witnesses that would confirm the abuse. Apart from the scientific process that will be going on.
Yeah,
on
which
the body now.
in his report, he was in what he was saying in segment about how she had chest issues, respiratory issues, and how she got better after a while. Keeping in mind that he himself is a doctor anyway, and to me it sounds like it was, and you just don't, maybe if it was maybe like cancer or something, you just don't get healed.
There was no surgery, there was nothing.
There was nothing, so it looks like it was aftermath of
healing.
Of the healing, yeah.
Of the abuse.
Okay.
You know, and so again, that Pastor Paul Enenche's statement confirms abuse in a way. Also confirms that the victim protected the perpetrator all round.
Yeah.
All round, you know. And all of these things boils down to the fact that we have set funny standards for ourselves. This is the third day in a row that I'm repeating it. Stop judging people. He's married, he's not married. She's married, she's not married. She's divorced, she's a divorcee. She's a single mother. Let us stop all these things and allow people live their lives. Like Jesus Christ said, he without sin cast the first stone.
But I think is like,
because all of those pressures might have led to this woman trying to stay married, in trying to keep a name that she didn't need.
Exactly. You know, there were parts, I can't remember, was it her sister that said there was a time when she left with her children after a while, that he came with some pastors to beg, and they went back, that even a few days to when she was going to die, that somebody heard him telling her that you are in this marriage for life, that you cannot leave this marriage alive, like you're either with me or you're dead.
You know, there was something I asked, what shall I ask today? I said, in all the reports I've read, I didn't get any reference to her father. You know?
Yeah, we had that discussion.
We had that discussion
Maybe her
today,
father is
Shola.
late.
I up until now, maybe not, you know. But why I ask the question is the fact that fathers have a big role to play now. Anybody listening in as a father, you have a big role to play. You have a daughter who is being abused in a marriage setting, and you also will say, sort it out with their husband. I have had people say that their men, their fathers have said that to a sister before. And by the way, let me tell you, the father continues, let me warn you, anything that happens is on your bill.
Yeah.
I don't want, you are not moving back to this house. I don't want to see any of your children sort it out with your husband. In fact, it's a taboo for you to be married
back,
and come back.
Come back, yeah. All those are cultural things.
I think we need to begin to think. In this country, we need to begin to think. And by the way, it's gone all over Africa. Somebody was even telling me recently that somebody got beaten up somewhere, maybe it's Kenya or Tanzania, I can't remember, for the same reason. Now, people, as we're speaking, a lot of women are still in this thing.
Oh yes,
They are not talking, not coming
I'm
out.
talking about what you were going to say.
They are not coming out.
Let's talk about what you said.
Yes.
Now, there was a particular story that popped up yesterday. It's supposed to be a closed Facebook group where a woman was asking for advice. Where I think she married a particular man, but she had a child before marrying him, and she's had other children with the man. The girl is 15 now. Then I think she found out that the man raped her daughter.
Yeah.
Then she moved out, and she was asking if she should move back, and it wasn't her question that angered me. It was
A response.
women,
Yeah.
Nigerian women's responses about how she should go back, that the girl too is to blame, about how why didn't that he did
She should
that
not let the girl wreck
her
home.
marriage, that she did that because the man did it because it was it was his stepchild, it was not his own child, that he will never do that to his own child. And that
Are you for real? Yeah.
That's what women were writing.
And they were all women, about how she should go and put the girl somewhere else, and that she should not let the girl ruin her life and ruin her marriage, and the girl too is to blame, that what was she doing, why didn't she tell the mother immediately this thing happened, all sorts of irritating. And I'm like, these are the kind of people this just shows a trend of how all these things happen and people just keep quiet because they set a standard for themselves that you're either married. In fact, I think I saw one that were like that she should be grateful that the man even married her with a child, so she shouldn't scatter the whole thing. And I'm like,
I feel
this
so
is
down.
our
I feel
problem.
so down listening to
This is our problem.
I feel so
This
down.
is the problem. Like, we feel that's the way I see it. Like, there is a standard to life. As a woman, you need to get married to be validated as a woman in the society.
And you must.
And
it's a
unfortunately,
must, yeah? It's a must, right?
yeah, it is women that are even enforcing this useless mentality the most. On the side of the person that wrote the story, for me, I feel that for you to be asking such a question about your 15-year-old child in the mix, you're looking for validation, you're not looking for advice.
Because it's too late for an advice. You just want somebody to clap and
Someone to tell you that you should, you already plan to go back. There shouldn't be a question. So the fact that there's a question, should I, you're already planning to go back.
A friend of mine actually told me how she got out of her own situation. She fought back. She fought. Actually,
so
it got to a point one day she had to face this man,
Yeah.
and the man for the first time ran. Like, can it be true? You understand? So I it's
very
so
sad. So yeah,
unfortunate,
Pastor
really.
Imejem says,
So
I won't
unfortunate.
comment on this matter because people get unnecessarily sentimental. What is important here is that she was a good Christian woman and she's in heaven. No, I don't think so. So for the very first time, I am going to disagree totally with that. Nope. It is not. I don't think that's important, because the unfortunate part, it is actually unfortunate. It's not fortunate that she's in heaven. We don't even know if she's in heaven anyway. That's one thing. Because God, I hope she is, because you can't go through all this beating and not now go to hell. It will be very disastrous. But we honestly don't know if she's gone to heaven or not. But I do not think that anybody's death is in the hands of another human being. So if someone's death comes from your hand, I'm sorry, it's not God. It is not. It is very, very important that we actually talk about these things. Being alive trumps every other thing.
I see more women pastors getting more involved.
And I think that's the problem. We don't want to comment about it, and that's why we are where we are today.
I think this is a pattern blowing out. Something has to be said.
Well,
Either constructive or otherwise.
For me, one of the things that I'm happy that has happened with the video from Pastor Paul Eneche is that he acknowledges that religion as a Christian does not open the way for divorce and all of that. He acknowledges that. But there are several videos that has emerged of him saying on the pulpit, it is better to be alive and out of a bad marriage than to be dead in a marriage. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm paraphrasing him.
Yeah.
So
like, divorce, we'll have that conversation with
Shola
God.
Rogers with Pastor Paul Eneche's assertions. Mm-hmm. So that removes all of the things that people were saying about our church. Yeah. They had nothing to do with our pastor or our church. she was the one that didn't even want the pastor to know.
I like
And
that.
I'm sure now, based on what the pastor has been saying, that's why she didn't want the pastor to know.
To know.
You understand? Because the pastor is saying,
Yeah.
I don't want you to die, whoever you are here. If you're there was a video where he was advising single people.
Yeah.
You're dating someone and he slaps you. What do you think he'll do when he marries you? So, and here is a married woman, fantastic worship and worship leader, gospel singer, who is going through that kind of situation, and she goes out of her way to beg everybody to make sure that this person that says it's okay to live a bad marriage does not hear about it. You know, so it's sad that she's dead, but I hope that at some point in time, you know, all of this will lead to some kind of a better life for the children.
Yeah, for I'm talking about the children. I know
Yeah.
that there was a statement from the Minister of Women Affairs about talking with the children. Maybe let's have a little bit of that.
Yeah, there's not much to say. The takeaway from the minister's visit to the household of the late Osinachi is that she has a 12-year-old son. The oldest is 12 years old, who is still in primary 5, can barely read and write. There's something wrong somewhere. I understand that people have different ways of growth, yeah, but it also speaks of abuse in a way on the children's part. Like the parents are probably abusing the children to the point where they're not properly educated. They're in Abuja now. Do you understand? There's schools everywhere and all of that. Again, all the children had told the minister a certain story. Then she now isolated them and spoke to them individually, and they said the same thing. The first story that they said was to deny if there was any problems. But when she spoke to them one-on-one like a mother, telling them that, you know, your mom is late, they said they know. You know, she's an angel now, she's watching you, don't tell any lies. They all spoke the truth, and they all pointed fingers at their father. You know how innocent children are. So, but at the end of the day, these are the updates on our matter, and let's continue to keep people abreast of the situation.
Waiting for the autopsy.
Because
I think
there's the other issue of the cloud chaser.
And then the police as well. I don't know how far, but a report came this morning that he's been taken back home, or let's go home. You know.
I've not seen that.
But there should be a report from them. Yeah.
I haven't heard.
I've not heard anything about it. The last I heard from the
case,
police was that they were not releasing him until the result from the autopsy was going to be out, so they know really whether all these allegations against him were true or not. So yeah, that was the last I heard about it. I've not heard of anything else. So moving off that, and something very interesting that happened yesterday, and it is basically about one thing that we all talk about a lot, and it is clout chasing. It happens a lot. People do all sorts of weird things to get likes, to get clicks, to get following, to join us, and just to be popular, to be influencers. We've seen people do all sorts of things. And in the wake of the insecurity that Nigeria is dealing with, we hear about people being kidnapped, to hear about people being raped, to hear about people being, it's a very sad thing. You hear it like almost on a daily basis. So yesterday, a lady called Toyosi goes on Twitter and tweets that there's a particular person at so address that is about to rape her and is beating her, whatever, and she puts out the phone number. And I think that social media, that's one good thing I would say is
they promptly acted.
Actually, Twitter Nigeria, people have been found because people have put out their pictures, and people reacted. People kept on calling the numbers. People actually went to the house, found out that she had a brother somewhere, started calling the brother, where's your sister, or this kind of things, and everybody really came up to, and it was trending and all that. And then all we hear is there is a video that she puts out that it was a joke, that she's fine, There is nothing wrong with her. That people should stop calling the number. And when I saw it, honestly, I was weak. I'm still a bit weak thinking about it. In fact, when she put out that video, people didn't even believe her at first because they felt that she was probably doing this thing under duress.
Absolutely.
It got to a point where even her brother did a video that he's with her, that people said referring to him that he's a cultist and he's a rapist, that he's not her brother, that he's part of the people that want to harm her, and all those. And you can't blame people. It's what you put out there. And I think it is official now that she was actually just clout chasing.
She was clout chasing, and the update was that the police went there promptly.
Yes.
Which to me was very
Well,
good.
yes, I think that the
good.
Nigerian police, you know,
Yeah.
when they are bad, they are bad. When they are good, let's give them kudos.
Don't even talk about the bad things. This one they did.
There was
good.
prompt.
Yeah.
It was I
Really
was reading is that someone said it was like a few minutes after they got the address to the place. Police actually were there.
You know, the mistake that they even made was that the Bariga police station was a stone throw to the house.
To the house. So my question is, what was she thinking about?
According to her, she didn't think it was going to go viral.
Oh, really? So there's a short circuit transmission on her phone that will only allow her friends to see.
So even if your friends see it,
She's got to be.
do you understand? Let's even assume it didn't go viral and maybe 10 people saw it.
Yeah.
And out of that 10, 5 people are calling you to also either, oh, okay, don't worry, it's a joke. Or because I don't get it. I have a friend that does such and I'm trying to get across to you. And then I finally get across to you and you say it's a joke. Do you ever think that if something bad really does happen to you, do you think I'll ever take you serious?
There are talks of how, and people are writing all sorts of things, and she has opened herself up to that. Some people are even alleging that she was or she is into prostitution, and that things didn't go well with. They're alleging, and I'm not saying I agree with that allegation, that things didn't go well with whoever she went to hook up with. That's why
So
she
she
put
wanted
out that message to
to
deal with the
Deal
person.
with the person.
But of course, her brother denied it, and one or two. Then there's a screen grab of a chat that shows that she actually maybe like slept over in that house or something. So, which probably lays credence to the allegations of being so. But of all the jokes in the world, of all the cloud chasing plans in the
world,
with the way Nigeria is structured and how everybody's on the
no
edge
joke,
when it comes to kidnapping
that was no
and
joke.
rape. These are the two things
That was no
that
joke.
you put out and you claim it's a joke.
I think she's got to be dealt with somehow, because
There are laws against what she has done.
there's a
There
law-
are laws
of course
against
there
what she has
are.
done, and I hope that the
It's so
Nigerian
sad.
police would make an example of her. I
because
hope that
those
I hope
things,
that the
I
Ministry
think,
of Justice.
I think that is actually against the law to actually like.
Oh,
force
yeah, there are
allow-
laws
It is against the law.
Oh, there are laws against it. So the Ministry of Justice, for once, they need to step up. Because if this girl gets away with this,
Oh, everybody's gonna go the
More
same
people
route.
will do it.
Everybody. Right now, I hear they do it sometimes. They call as a fake call to the fire services sometimes.
oh, they're doing it to the police now
to
in
the
Nigeria.
police, yes.
There's a prank calling thing in America where people do it a lot, where you see they'll give you an address.
Yeah, and I know that like in the US, it's actually a felony
It's a felony.
to actually do those things. I'm like, so I don't know what people think about it and why they're doing the things that they're doing, but you know.
She's got to learn from this now. I think they should just let her learn from this.
Anyway, finally before we go, we're almost out. Elon Musk. I don't know if you read about it. Elon Musk wants to buy the whole of Twitter.
Yes, now he has the money.
He wants to buy the whole of
He has the money.
Twitter. He wants to buy.
When he acquired over 9% of Twitter, the feedback is, oh, he was deceptive about it, blah, 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 blah. He owns more of Twitter than the owner of Twitter now.
Yeah,
You
he's
get.
the highest
Yeah.
shareholder.
He's the highest shareholder. So when you have money and you're like, okay,
And yeah, the
is
richest
it
man,
in the world. So I bought 9% of this, and you guys are making noise. Okay, I'm going to buy the remaining 81% or 91%, and let me see what's going to happen.
You begin to
There are no laws against him acquiring Twitter.
No.
There are no laws against. He has the money, and people have started joking about it. You know, one of his biggest brands is the Tesla model.
The Tesla.
So I've seen a logo of the new Twitter, and it's with the Tesla. It's the Tesla logo Twitter. You know, because it's like a
yeah.
And I'm like, we joke too much. But who's gonna stop Elon Musk?
Who's gonna stop him?
Who's gonna stop him? You're not the richest man in the world for nothing now.
Yeah.
You know,
you should be able to spend your money any way you
want. If I was Elon Musk, I'll be looking at buying 1 or 2 countries. You know,
mine is on the way. Don't worry.
Okay.
See,
finally, before we go,
they don't believe me.
I believe you.
They don't believe me.
Remember me in your
remember
kingdom.
me in your kingdom, Abby.
Oh.
Finally, the quarterfinals of Champions League officially ended yesterday.
Yep.
I think it was beautiful.
Yep.
Atletico Madrid, Man City 4, and in other news, it's looking like Atletico Madrid is going to be sanctioned because there was a little bit of violence yesterday that even Pep Guardiola got hit with a bottle.
Look, when the FIFA qualifiers were played and Egypt got attacked with lasers and everything, nothing happened. And when you don't do something to deter people from doing this, they get emboldened and they're going to do more and they're going to do more. You know, for every good guy, there's a bad guy out there. You know, so if you're going to commend the good guy for doing good, then you should be able to deal with the bad guy for doing bad.
But that was risky. A bottle.
Yeah, it was very, and then a few other people too were attacked.
Oh, because of football?
Yeah, there was a draw yesterday, but Man City had already scored 1 goal at home before, so they officially moved to the semi-finals. Liverpool, Benfica. Shout out to Benfica because they did not win that game. It was a 3-3 draw. It was started from a 3-0.
Yeah.
And then it ended as 3-3. I never saw that coming, and it was an away game. You thought it was going to be easy for Liverpool. Yes, Liverpool still qualified, but if it wasn't about qualification, it was hands down a very big. Yes, yeah, they definitely did. They definitely did. So we're waiting for those draws. We'll see what's going to happen now. For today, it's the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Really? Barcelona is playing. Oh, Barcelona is playing Europa. Wow. Barcelona is.
How the mighty had fallen.
Yeah. At 5:45, Atalanta is playing RB Leipzig. At 8 p.m., Barcelona is playing. Okay, please. How does this is something Frankfurt?
Eintracht.
What?
Eintracht Frankfurt.
Eintracht. Oh, okay. Lyon is playing West Ham United, and Rangers is playing SC Braga by 8 p.m. West African time. So we definitely will see how that goes, and then we'll definitely come back tomorrow for a few of that. And that's all we able to take today on the Boom Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Sorry that we started a little bit late. We will.
And a big shout out to Pastor Eliashib.
Yeah,
all those comments and everything.
Oh yeah, you definitely made our day.
Thank you so much, Pastor.
Thank you. We'll be back again tomorrow, but you can definitely